In this exercise, we're going to discuss orientating sketches. It's very important to understand that whenever you're trying to sketch something out, you need to have the proper orientation. And what I mean by that is it can be straightforward. So let's say we want to take this part here and I want to add something on this front face. I select Create 2D Sketch and I select that face. It automatically orientates my sketch to that face and allows me to draw something. Say I draw a little rectangle here. Then that allows me to come back to the extrude command and do a little cutout if I need to. I can flip this over to the cut command, hit OK. So now I have that little cutout there. Pretty straightforward. Now for objects more like this, where we have an angled face on this side. So we have this keyed slot here. So we need another one up here on this face. I have to create a sketch that is perpendicular to this plane. We have a couple ways of doing this. If I knew exactly what this plane angle was, I could orientate and rotate to that angle, but that's way too complicated. I don't know what that is. I don't care what that angle is. Maybe I created it from over here and I just drew it out and I have a set distance, so I don't know what that angle is. So the command I can use is look at. SolidWorks calls this normal to. So if I click at look at, it takes me to that plane. The other option I have is just whenever I create 2D Sketch, I just click on that plane. So now if I wanted to come in here and start drawing out, say, another key, make it 4 by 18 here. And I'll add little circles on the end to make it an all brown. And I'll go to my extrude command. And I'll select cut. Say 10 millimeters here. So now I have a key in there because I created it normal to this face or perpendicular to this face. It's very important to make sure you're orientated to the correct face that you're trying to work on. If I click on this face here to create a sketch, for some reason I accidentally click out here, and I wanted that object to go in a set distance. If I click out here and I have a hole, for example, that's 12 millimeters deep, the distance from this face to this face is 20 millimeters. So if I think I'm working on this face up here, and I come in here, and I start to draw some kind of hole, and I go to extrude it, say cut, and you can see there that it's not going to even touch any geometry. It's not going to do anything. I'd have to extend it on past to get it to extrude into that. So you have to be very careful which face you select. The other option with orientating a sketch face is setting it up at a distance. Sometimes you need the face to be offset from the object. So if I say create 2D sketch and I pull it out, you'll notice it gives me the offset command. So now I can come out 20 millimeters and start drawing something. And I say extrude this. And I could change my termination, say to next. And you can see there why it's important. I'm going to turn the visibility off in this plane. If I drew the sketch on this plane and went out 20 millimeters, I wouldn't get this part going down. And if you look at it, it's really complicated. It actually enters into this hole. Real life, I really wouldn't want it to do that, but I wanted you to see that there are extenuating circumstances sometimes when you create something that you do need to create it offset from that object. So if you do need to create it offset, you just pick the 2D sketch and pull it out. If you say 2D sketch, you can also go in. So if you wanted to go inside an object to set distance, so say 12.5 millimeters there, you can hit F7 to slice my graphics, project cut edges, and now I'm working inside of that extrusion to do something else. I could do maybe a sweep around the outside, do some kind of groove. It's very easy to get in there and work on that. Later on, we're actually going to get into work planes and faces with axes and work points and be able to get even more complicated. But for now, remember, click on it, try it. If you're not sure, you can always undo. For example, for some reason I wanted to get into the inside of that key. Now I'm actually working inside that key. If I wanted to orientate it the other way, I hit F7 to bring back the object, hit F7 again, and it orientates me the other way. So you can see there's some very powerful sketching tools that you can play with, see what you can do, and see how well it works. I will include this part in the example files. It'll be called aux/clutch/lever.ipt. And you can go in here and play with this. It's a good example to look at. I learned this in a training class years ago, and I've always saved it as one of my favorites to show how to orientate a plane. So play with it, see what you can do, and have some fun with it.